There we go, JD, Alabama. Welcome.
Jalen out of Dallas.
All right, Jalen, Dallas. Welcome. All right, who else we got out there? If you just entered into the chat, please announce your name and where you're calling in from. It's about to be an explosive night.
This is Ava from Texas.
All
Recording
right,
in
Texas.
progress.
Welcome. We'll take a few more introductions. Please announce your name and where you're calling in from.
Darren, South Carolina.
All right, Darren, South Carolina, welcome. All right, if you just arrived in the chat, Millionaire Mentorship is underway. Money Making Monday. Please announce your name and where you're calling in from.
Don LaPlume in New Hampshire.
All right, Don.
Hey,
Welcome.
Ignacio.
Welcome. All right, who's up next? Go ahead and announce your name and where you're calling in from.
Idris Salaka, Brooklyn, New York.
Brooklyn, Idris. Welcome, brother.
Thank
Tim
you.
Neal, Puerto
Voodoo,
Rico.
Louisiana.
Puerto Rico, Tim Neal.
Hey,
Welcome.
how's it going? Nice.
It's growing.
Mike Sullivan, Boston.
Sir.
All right, Boston, State of Champions. Welcome, Mike. All right. It is Money Making Monday. We'll take a couple more introductions. Please announce your name and where you're calling in from.
Tony Danner, Northern California.
All right, Tony, welcome. All right, everybody's pouring in now. There we go. Announce your name and where you're calling in from. Take a couple more introductions and we'll get the show on the road.
Alicia from Arkansas.
All right. Welcome.
Neil, Puerto Rico.
All right. Welcome. Hey, Barbie. All right. We'll take about, let's say, 5 more introductions. I see you guys all just poured in just now. Go ahead and announce your name and where you're calling in from.
Good
Mark
evening,
from Los
Ignacio. This is
Angeles.
Carla in the DMV.
All right. Welcome, Carla. Welcome.
Mark from Los Angeles.
Hey, Mark. Welcome.
Thank you, sir.
Roy from St. Louis.
St. Louis, Leroy. Welcome.
Jared, Houston, Texas.
All right, Derek, Houston, Texas. Welcome.
Jim, Atlanta, Georgia.
All right, Atlanta, Georgia. Jim, welcome. All
I'm
right.
Steven from Connecticut. How are you, Ignacio?
There we go. Welcome. All right, we'll take like 2 more and we'll get it.
From Canada.
There we go, from Canada. Welcome. All
This is
right.
Emma Artis from the DMV.
There we go.
Hi.
Welcome. All right. Good evening, Build family. Welcome to Millionaire Mentorship. Whether you're brand new, a seasoned leader, or someone who knows deep down you're meant for more, you're in the right place tonight. Before I bring up our guest speaker, some of you know who it is. I want to anchor your mind for the next 30 to 40 minutes because this isn't just another Monday call. This is where I've rebuilt my identity, where perspective sharpens, where the right sentence can change the next 5 to 10 years of your life. So here's a few reminders. Housekeeping, camera on, because presence creates clarity. Notes out. The fastest way to wealth is documenting wisdom. 0 distractions. Millionaires don't multitask their identity. Lean in. The next breakthrough will not come to the person scrolling. Every week, leaders show up here with the intention to pour into you. But tonight's speaker, he's different. He's a man who lives what he teaches. A man whose spent entire brand is built on discipline, pressure, and personal responsibility. You've seen his posts. He's the guy who says before success, they call you stubborn. After success, they call you persistent because he knows that greatness looks crazy until the results show up. He's the one reminding us you can't complain about capitalism while posting with $1,000 phone and wearing $150 shoes. Why? Because wealth starts with ownership, not opinions. He's the one who will tell you straight. You're going to hear strategies, you're going to hear perspective, but more importantly, you're going to hear truth. Truth about what it takes to succeed, truth about discipline, truth about building wealth in this era. Some of you came ready. Some of you came curious. Some of you came because someone said, just get on this call. No matter how you arrived, the only thing that matters is how you leave. So lock in, take notes. The next version of you is depending on them because it is. With that said, Bill family, help me welcome our president, Mr. J.C. Rangel.
Wow, Ignacio, your introductions, brother, are getting better and better. I'm like, man, I'm blushing over here, brother, after that introduction. So thank you very much for that kind introduction. Ladies and gentlemen, excuse me, I cannot turn on my camera today, but I've got a couple of apps running and I don't want to lose what I'm doing. So one of them is attached to the camera. But we've got a lot to cover today. I'm going to jump right into the information because we do have a lot to cover. And it is the end of the year. So before I even get into the training, I want to kind of let you guys know a couple of things that you know, the mindset, right, that is important for us to have right now because it is the end of the year, right? And this is, ladies and gentlemen, the time of the year where people start to get a little bit lazy, relax a little bit too much. And I want you to write this down. You may have heard me say this over and over, but that's okay. We need to hear this over and over. And we need to adopt them as a philosophy. And if you guys heard me train, you guys hear me very often mention that philosophies is a big part of success. We all have philosophies about life. Our philosophies are basically like the filters that we see life through, right? And depending on our experience, depending on our surroundings, on how we grew up, on the books we read or the books we did not read, that all shapes our philosophies, right? Well, if you hang around 5 winners, you're going to be number 6. You hang around 5 losers, for lack of a better term, you're going to be number 6 as well. And so that definitely shapes your philosophy. And our parents told us very early on, right, as kids, birds of a feather flock together. In Spanish, they told us, dime con quién te juntas y te digo quién eres. That means tell me who you hang out with and I'll tell you who you are. And our parents were right. That's why trainings like today are so important because this is us hanging out with like-minded people. As of right now, we just started, but we've got 60 people on right now. Okay. These are 60 people that get on every week. These are like-minded people. And before I got, for example, to the position that I got, or Mr. Navarro got to the position that he is, or Mr. Pacheco got to the position that he is, guess what? We were in trainings like this. The difference is, you know, and a lot of you guys come from the old school network marketing like me, where it wasn't Zoom, it was in a room, right? It wasn't from home in Zoom, it was in traffic to get into a room. And for example, for me, our trainings were Monday nights. Monday nights were systems trainings. They were 2 hours long. And I'm glad they were 2 hours long because if you drove that long, we were in traffic for 40 minutes. I'm in Los Angeles. So I drive in traffic for 40 to 50 minutes to get to my destination, right by the LAX airport, literally like 2 miles away from the LAX airport at the Proud Bird restaurant, right? That's where I would go and I would pay, I think that training was $11. The briefings were there as well. And the briefings were $7, but the trainings were $11. So what we would do, ladies and gentlemen, is we would go every Monday and every Thursday to that Proud Bird restaurant. It's a nice place still to this day, but it was in person. And we did that for years and years and years. That's why, you know, when we see kind of like that it's easier these days, in a lot of areas, building a business is easier. But I don't think that people really grasp that you've got more access to information, that it is more convenient than ever before. So it's not that much to ask, hey, let's get on. And I'm going to sound weird saying this, but let's get on and turn on our cameras, right? I say weird because I can't turn on my camera right now, but you guys know that the speaker always has it on. So it's not that hard to do that, right? So the philosophy is this: winners do what winners do. Winners do what winners do. Winners show up. Winners play hurt. Winners see what everybody else is doing and they do the opposite. That's just, it is what it is. And throughout this training here today, you guys are going to hear me say winners do what winners do. And I don't want that to be just a quote that you know. I want that to be a philosophy that you live your life by and that you build your business with. So let's get started. So we're going to talk, ladies and gentlemen, about becoming a master team builder. Okay, so let's jump right into the information. So first and foremost, I learned this in 2001 in my first network marketing company. Ignorance on fire beats intelligence on ice. Yes, some of us don't understand the trading services to the T yet. That's okay. Oh, by the way, remind me, I'm going to share in the chat, in the WhatsApp group, and on Facebook. I'm going to tag everybody on Facebook. I just recorded a 9-minute video overview of our trading services of our Build Academy. It is only 9 minutes of the building, the Build Academy. There's no business overview. There's no comp plan. It is just the Build Academy. So I just recorded it earlier today. Mr. Pacheco says he needed that. I'm like, we need that. He says the company needs that. I said, hey, say less. I'll get it done. So I just recorded that today. I want you guys to go and take a look at it because it's a great tool to get customers. It's also a great tool that's non-invasive. You're not talking about a business opportunity, right? You're sharing, hey, listen, I joined this community. I'm excited. There's some incredible people making some incredible money with this. It's hard to believe. You should read it. So let's say you share the sizzle video with them. That's a great next step video. If they like that video, then you might say, hey, listen, by the way, there's a whole compensation plan behind this. If you want to learn, what I know and how we're getting paid, offering this to the masses, let me know. I'd be happy to share it with you. But it's very non-threatening, right? So anyways, remind me to share that video later. But ignorance on fire beats intelligence on ice. That means that when you are excited, master builders are excited. They're excited not only about their business, but their services. They're excited about life. They're excited. You know why we are excited about the services and about the business? Because we are in the business, because we are a product of the product, because we're using the Einstein scanner, because even if you don't have real money trading yet, but you're using fake money and you're testing it, your conviction level, ladies and gentlemen, will be much greater. You may not know. There's been times when I tell people, look, I'm gonna be honest with you, man. I'm not the best person to explain it, but sometimes, write this down. Sometimes you understand it much better than you can explain it. Sometimes you understand it much better than you can explain. And that's wrong, but I'll tell you what, I could send you the information or put you on the phone with the right person that knows how to explain it. But trust me when I tell you, bro, you want to, at the very least, take a look at this information. Do you see what I'm saying? It's about talking to people and having conviction. You got to be excited. The next one is this. People will be more impressed by the height of your enthusiasm than the depth of your knowledge. These are oldies but goodies in this industry. When you are excited, people will come. You set yourself on fire. People will come from miles to watch you burn. You will scare 1 out of 10 people by being too excited. But you will scare 9 out of 10 people by not being excited enough. You've got to be excited about your business. Ladies and gentlemen, here's a good thing. The way I look at Build is, wow, we've come a long way. That is code for we've made a lot of changes. Hey, I recognize it 100%. We always knew we were going to be international. We have our essential services agency, which is great. That used to be the forefront of the business. Now it's one of the member benefits. That goes to show how much we've grown. But we all can agree that what gets the most bodies, the most subscribers, the most people on your team are these services that we offer now and international. And the more people that come in, guess what? The more solar sales, home security sales, internet sales, cell phone sales, water sales happen in your business. And guess what? You override it all. So you got to get excited. Let's keep going. Here's an example of the power of network marketing. You invest 5 hours into your business. That is 5 hours you are getting benefit from, you are getting profit from, you are getting paid from. Let's say you recruit 5 people and they are dedicating the same 5 hours you are dedicating. That is 25 hours that you are now getting paid on in addition to your 5. Let's say those 5 go bring another 5. That's 25 times 5 equals 125 hours. Ladies and gentlemen, that is a total of 155 hours per week. Let's say this is just 5 hours a week that you dedicate to the business and your team grows. Here's a question. How many of us would love the opportunity to get paid on 155 hours of work? Most people work a full-time job and they work 8-hour days, 40 hours a week. 155 hours a week is not feasible. The only way that's feasible, write this down, ladies and gentlemen, one of the favorite word of the wealthy, one of the favorite word of the leaders, one of the favorite word of the millionaires is leverage. Leverage should be one of your favorite words. If somebody could please put a quote there. There's a quote that talks about, I can move the world with leverage. Right? Somebody says something. I don't want to mess up the quote, but if somebody could find the quote and put it in the chat, that'd be great. He says, give me enough leverage and I can move the world. Something along those lines. It is so true. This business allows you to build leverage. And that's what this is showing here, ladies and gentlemen. Leverage. Okay, let's keep going. Oh, you are getting paid this as a result of leverage. Okay. Now, the team building mindset. You want to be 100% confident. Write this down. Act the way you want to feel, and soon you will feel the way you act. That is also a philosophy. You guys are not going to hear anybody talk about philosophies more than me. Act the way you want to feel, and soon you will feel the way you act. To a certain degree, it means fake it till you make it. Now, there's a good fake it till you make it, and there's a bad fake it till you make it. Here's what I am not suggesting when it comes to fake it till you make it. I am not suggesting you go get in a bunch of debt to try to act like somebody that you're not or have something that you don't have. That is not what we're suggesting here. That would be completely against the Smart Money Club. Okay? What I am saying is this, act as if. Act as if you could pretend to be confident. Eventually, you're not going to pretend anymore. Eventually, you generally are that confident. Eventually, the tone of your voice, the pep in your step, you're going to stutter less. All that is going to be different. Why? Because people will be afraid not to join you if they know that you know where you're going. I've literally, and it depends who we're talking to, right? Here's a golden nugget I'm going to give you. A great network marketer is a chameleon. Write that down. A great network marketer or salesperson or business professional is a chameleon. And that's not in a bad way. That's in a good way. For example, if I sit down with my brother to show him the business, I guarantee that my energy, my conversation, the words I use are going to be different than if I sit down with my grandmother, right? I'm not going to talk to my grandmother the way I talk to my brother. I am able to adjust to the situation. And here's the deal. I have a philosophy that I am a chameleon, that I am a champion, that I am a stud. I believe that. I say to myself all the time, money comes easily and frequently. Money comes easily and frequently from different streams and in increasing quantities. Money comes easily and frequently from different streams and in increasing quantities. And I believe that. And I believe it, and I also believe beyond the shadow of a doubt that I deserve it. Now, was I always that confident when I said those things? I wasn't. But I said them so many times, and I took action on a daily basis. Eventually, I didn't fake the confidence. The confidence was genuine. Okay? Master builders know this, that everyone has an invisible help me sign and an expiration date on their forehead. Your job as a leader is to extend expiration dates until you eliminate expiration dates. There are people that are on here right now that their mindset is, I'm going to get on one more training. And I'm getting to my wit's end because I've been talking to people and nobody's budging. And you know what? Let's see if by some miracle this training does something to me, but I'm really getting ready to throw the towel in. And some of those people, we may extend their expiration date an extra month, an extra 6 months, an extra year. And your job as a leader, whether you have one person on your team or 1,000 people on your team, your job as a leader is to look at people like they have a help me sign and an expiration sign, and to help them extend that expiration date. Because here's why. If the person was going to quit Thanksgiving, go into the holidays and never come back into the business, right? Let's say that person was going to do that, ladies and gentlemen. Here's what's going to happen. If they were going to do that, but you extended their expiration date another 3 months till January. Between now and January, a lot can happen. Can we agree? Yes. Maybe they get a sale. Maybe they get a recruit. Maybe they got an interested person that told them, hey, man, middle of January, call me, bro. I'm open. I'm going to look for, right now we got the holidays, but this sounds interesting. Call me the middle of January. All of a sudden, that person's like, oh, wow. And I was about to quit. You know what? I'm going to just stick it out. I might as well continue to get on the trainings in the meantime. And what you did as a leader is that you extended their expiration date, because most people quit way too soon. The only way that you can lose in this business is if you quit. But I'm going to share with you a story. I got started in 2001. I was 18 years old. September 2001 is when I got started in this industry. My first 6 months, I made $60. So that's a whopping $10 per month average. My second company was a company called ACN. Some of you guys may know the company. I paid $500 to get started. I didn't make a dime. The third company, I started making some money, which was like 3 years later. I didn't start making full-time income until 2009, probably 2010. But I started in 2001. Do you guys follow? Do you guys follow where I'm going here? It took a lot of years, but I'll tell you what, write this down. This is also a philosophy. It won't be easy, but it will be worth it. It won't be easy, but it will be worth it. Another key thing about team building, ladies and gentlemen, is this. Keep your day job. Too many people make the mistake of going full-time too fast, going full-time prematurely. The problem is this, ladies and gentlemen, if you go full-time prematurely, here's what's going to happen. You're going to have commission breath. Write that down. Commission breath. That doesn't sound good, does it? Yeah, that's where you're prospecting people and you really need them to sign up because you need the commissions, and you got this air of desperation. I've been there. Trust me. I'm telling you this because I have been there. Okay? So you got this era of desperation, of neediness. Ladies and gentlemen, whether a man or a woman, needy is not attractive in real life and in business. Whether network marketing or real estate or insurance or any business, being needy is not attractive. So my suggestion is keep your daytime job. Who cares if it takes you a year or two or even 3 or 4? What if it took you 5 years to finally replace your income? Is that the worst thing in the world? If you're making $7,000 a month and it took you 5 years to get to build your 8,000, would that be the worst thing in the world? No, it wouldn't. But see, here's the deal, ladies and gentlemen, write this down. We live in a microwave society, microwave mindset society. Fast food isn't fast enough. People want success fast and stuff. And I'm going to write this down too. Comparison is a thief of joy. Some people are comparing their chapter 3 to somebody's chapter 27. Oh my goodness, but I see Tim and Eric O'Neill, they're both rank advancing and they're a couple, and my couple won't even join the business. Guess what? They're probably in a further chapter than you are. Comparison is a thief of joy. Stay the course. Follow the system. The breakthrough comes later, but guess what? You got to become the person first. You have got to become the person first. Some people were supposed to be on, but they decided that they don't want to be on because you know what? They already feel the holiday spirit. It's Thanksgiving week. Well, it ain't Thanksgiving. Guess what? Winners do what winners do. Winners are on training. Winners don't find any excuse to have a start and stop, which, by the way, write that down. Starts and stops. People that don't win are people that have a lot more starts and stops. There's people right now that are like, amen, 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 that are excited about the business. 6 months from now, they're not going to be here. That is a part of the business. Right? So let's keep going. Here's how you help your team. Be the example. You want to get started the way you want them to get started. Question for you guys. What pack that we have right now is the pack that you would love for all the people in your organization to get started on? I want you to put it in the chat. Let's participate. Which one of our packs would you encourage, and want everybody on your team to join with. Premier, Apex. By the way, we changed the name from Apex to Premier. It's now Premier. There's a reason why. We'll mention another time. There was a company that called themselves Apex, and they were doing trading, but they were doing some stuff that was not compliant. We did not want to be associated with them. So our attorney told us, look, honestly, just change it. You can find a nicer name. And I like Premier more anyways, right? So we want to look at even the simple little details like that. So anyways, enough of that. Okay, the Premier Pack. So guess what? Be the example. Get started on the Premier Pack. Upgrade yourself to the Premier Pack. Get yourself to the Premier Pack. Ladies and gentlemen, write this down. This is a real business, and I should treat it as such. The problem with network marketing is that people treat it like a little $200,000, $500,000, $1,000 business, and that is a big mistake. Big builders, here's a golden nugget. Big builders treat it like a big business. Big builders don't say, oh, I'm in build. Big builders say, I own a build franchise. Now, don't get me wrong. For the record, this is not a franchise. I'm talking about mindset. Okay, for compliance reasons, I want to make sure I'm clear on that, right? I'm telling you about the mindset. Even with my last company, I wasn't the owner of the company, but you know what I told people? You guys, I own a solar franchise. The difference is that I pretend like I invested $100,000 into my solar franchise and I got a $10,000 to $15,000 per month overhead to cover. That's how I treat my business. And that's why I'm the number one recruiter, the number one seller, the number one, all these things in the company, because guess what? I didn't treat it like a $150 or a $200 business. And that's one of the mistakes that a lot of new people make. Not even new people, existing people with a lot of experience. You got to switch your mindset. Here, I'll tell you a story. I've met people that were, I've had, hundreds of thousands of people in my downline over the last 20 years. And I've had people that come to me and say, JC, you know what's interesting? I now own a mechanic shop. For example, one of my buddies, Ivan. He says, and I invested serious money, over 6 figures, to open up my mechanic shop. And I realized that I am working so much harder. I am waking up earlier, working later. It is a lot harder work than what I was doing before. If I just put half of this effort into my network marketing business when I had the chance, I would have been in your position right now or similar. People don't realize, and they say, and I understand that the effort I put in is the effort you've been putting in, and that's why you got what you got. There's a friend of mine, we've been friends for almost 20 years, like 18 years. And I said to him, well, we met in 2010, so no, not 18 years, 15 years. I said, yeah, that's true. He says, now I understand what you meant when you said to treat it like a business. Because in any business, in order for the business to be successful, you got to put some serious effort. He says, when I open up my mechanic shop, JC, I'm not going to give it 90 days. I invested $100,000 into this deal. And I'm not going to give it 90 days. Doggone it. I'm going to give it all that I got for as long as it takes. So that's right. But sometimes, ladies and gentlemen, it gets to the point where people realize too late. Now, he could still get started and do the business, right? Matter of fact, Gabby knows what I'm talking about. You know what I mean? He's a friend of ours. So be the example. Make sure that your people are launched properly. Make sure that they are connected to the system and help them get superstar qualified. Look, this is probably one of the biggest, if not the biggest golden nuggets I'm going to give you. You got to make sure that everybody that's new, that when they get started, that they hit the superstar bonus. There's 2 ways to make an extra $500 in your first 30 days. Here's how. First way, we announced this last Saturday or the Saturday before. Help them recruit 4 builders, personal builders, $199 or higher. So even the smallest pack counts, okay, guys? The $199 pack or higher. Recruit 4 and help 2 of them get binary dual team qualified. Help 2 of your 4, not all 4. Help 2 of your 4 recruit 2. They got to put 1 left. Here's a caveat. When they recruit their 2, 1 of them has to go on the left, 1 of them on the right. They can't put both on the right side or both on the left side. Your 4, you got to put at least 1 left, 1 right. The rest of them, you can put them wherever you want. Both you and them have to get dual team qualified. Does that make sense, guys? Very important. That's a way in your first 30 days. Let's say, for example, I get started today, November 24th. I have till Christmas Eve to recruit 4 builders myself and help 2 of them recruit 2. and I hit a $500 bonus on top of my commissions. Mr. Bean broke this down brilliantly last Monday, if I'm not mistaken. Second way to hit superstar bonus. See, we make it easy. Recruit 2 builders and get 3 customer points. If you guys recall, it used to be 5 customer points. We made it easier. You know why? Because we want to pay people some doggone money. That's why. Because people deserve to get compensated for their efforts. So you go recruit 2 builders and you get 3 customer points. If you don't know how you acquire customer points, I'm going to take the next minute to share with you how you do it. Solar sales equal 1 point. We're talking about our essential services agency here. So the first way is all recruiting. The second way is a second option, selling the services that we offer. Solar equals 3 points. So if you recruit 2 builders and you buy solar for your home, or you sell solar to somebody you know, that's 3 points. Congratulations, you earned $500. Easy peasy. The Alka 75 or the Alka CT, okay, or higher. If you're in California, the whole home water filtration system, that's 2 points. Home security, ADT or Brinks, 1 point. Internet, 1 point. Cell phone, 1 point. So if I sell Crystal the Alka 75, I schedule an appointment, we sell her Alka 75, and I buy the home security system for me, that counts. I could sell it or I could consume it. You could come in and say, I recruited my brother and my sister. You know what? Honey, we buy bottled water. Why don't we get the Alka 75? Let's finance it, pay $60, $70 a month. That's less than what we spent for bottled water. That's 2 points. And let's get the, let's switch over our internet, or let's get the home security system. That's 3 points. We just made $500. Okay. Here's the deal. When you get the new person paid, obviously that's a good deal. You extended their expiration date. Remember? You extend their expiration dates by getting them to trainings, by helping them recruit somebody, by helping them make money, by helping them get a sale, by getting them to, there's certain things that extend expiration dates more than others. Your job as a master team builder is to get your people paid and get your people growing. Not only growing in team, but growing in their mindset. Your job is to, now here's the deal, you leverage the system, you leverage us. If you got a team of 10 and you get 5 people on, that's great. Of course, try to get all 10. The more people you get, that means you don't rely on the system to text them and say, I hope my team gets on. No. How many did you call? How hard did you edify? Like, hey, Erica, hey, David, I want to make sure that we get everybody from the team on today's Millionaire Mentor Zoom. These are calls we don't miss for any reason in the world. As a matter of fact, Erica and David, I'll tell you what, the only reason to miss a Millionaire Mentor Zoom is if you've got to go to a funeral and you're the one in the box. Outside of that, guess what? We attend these trainings because that's what we do as a team. Because winners do, guess what? What winners do. Do you guys see the difference? Can you feel the energy? Can you guys feel energy is neither lost nor destroyed? It's simply transferred from one party to the next. I am transferring $1 million energy on the Millionaire Mentor Zoom. I'm telling you what needs to happen. Some of you guys, you need to believe bigger, faster. Most of you guys need to believe bigger, faster. When my mentor told me that, I said, wow. He says, the thing is this, you got to aim for the stars and land on the moon. What are you afraid that you're going to make a big go and declare a big go and you're going to miss a go? What's going to happen? Average people are going to criticize you because guess what? Winners won't criticize you because winners know that you got to set big goals and you're not always going to hit those goals. But if you aim for the stars and you land on the moon, is that too bad? Is that so bad? No, it's not. Let's keep going. All you can do is all you can do. And all you can do is good enough. As long as you give it everything you've got, you attend the trainings, you launch and you follow the system to launch your business properly. You generate your 8 points on a daily basis. That's how you keep track. That's how you keep count. Am I doing the right activity on a daily basis? Okay, I can answer that question. How many points did I generate today? You guys see how smart that is? There's no guessing. We gave you a system. A point system. This is how many points you generate daily minimum. Don't make your minimums your maximums. That's another winner's philosophy. Don't make your minimums your maximums. It is 8 points a day. Be the boring guy. I'm a boring guy in my life. I go to sleep by 10:30 p.m., 11 p.m. at the latest. I wake up at 6 or 6:30. I get my son ready and I take him to school and then I work out. Then I start my meetings and I work till about 8 p.m. Then I watch TV with my wife. I give her the time. I give my children the time, right? I'm boring. But boring creates success because I'm disciplined, because I know that from this time to this time, I got time blocked off that I'm on phone calls, I'm on Zooms, I'm on three-way calls, I'm on text messages, I'm doing presentations, I'm recording videos. I am doing what has to get done, and I'm going to finish my to-do list every single day. I'm boring. So the 8-point system, it may be boring. You may be boring. Guess what? Remember, most people are not going to do the 8-point system, ladies and gentlemen. They're just not going to do it. And a lot of people will start it and stop it. All I can do is tell you, here's a system, follow the system. And I know that good seed, as Jim Rohn says, good seed will fall on good ground. Sometimes good seed falls on thorny ground, he says. Sometimes good seed falls on rocky ground, he says. But eventually, some of that good seed falls on good ground. Now, good ground, I'm not referring to good people or bad people. Don't misunderstand what I'm saying. I'm saying some people are ready to get the message and be super coachable, and some people are not. Some people are going to be ready and coachable in 6 months. Some people are going to go for 6 months of frustration and then say, you know what? I'm ready to listen. I'm ready to go all in. If I have to follow the 8 points for the next 36 months, I am super committed. What if somebody follows the 8-point system for 36 months nonstop and they just hit Builder 3500? Is that the worst thing in the world? And I'll tell you what, some of you guys are going to take 3 years to hit Builder 3500. I'm telling you. Some of you guys are going to take 3 years to hit Builder 3500, and it's going to take you 1 more year to hit Executive 15. I am calling it into existence. Mark my words. Some of you guys, it will take 2 or 3 years to hit Builder 3500, and it'll just take you 1 more year to go Builder 8000, Executive 15. And you're going to tell the story. Man, my first 3 years, I got to Builder 3500, maybe even Builder 1500. Imagine that. Builder 1500 took me 3 years. But just 1 year later, I went from Builder 1500 to Executive 15, 10x. I've seen it over and over and over. Because here's what happens. The person that you are at Builder 3500 is not the same person you are at Builder 250. There's no way. Then there were people that you talked to when you were a Builder 250, when you were a Builder 700, and you were a Builder 1500 that told you no. But 2 years have passed and they say, this person is sharper. This person is more confident. This person is still with the same company. This person is different. They've changed. Now they believe you more than they did then. You know why? They got 2-3 years of evidence, though. All of a sudden, you start attracting people. All of a sudden, your engagements with them, your conversations with them are different, and they notice it because now you become the person that attracts success. Jim Rohn says it. He says, seldomly will your income exceed your personal development. Seldom will your income exceed your personal development. Okay? People will quit on themselves. That's part of the game. Don't take it personal. That's going to happen. So you got to learn how to next people. Some will, some won't, some wait. So what? Someone's waiting. So who's next? Some will wait. Some will, some won't. So what? Guess what? Someone's waiting. So who's next? Let's go find them. So team building mindset, speed and exposure. Whoever has the most urgency will win. You got to have a sense of urgency when building a business. Speed and exposure. Let's talk to more people. Let's get better, faster. Now is the time. If you don't recruit your warm market, somebody else will. Some of us have not contacted a certain warm market because we're afraid they might reject us. Man, listen, I've told you guys this before. Think of a number between 600 and 1,000. Everybody think of a number between 600 and 1,000. Put it in the chat. Let's have 10 of you guys put it in the chat. A number between 600 and 1,000. We've done this before. Some of you guys know what I'm talking about. 601, Ignacio, that was clever. Okay, 900, 750, 601. Okay, great. Imagine the creator says to you, here's a deal. That's how many rejections you need before you achieve financial freedom. The sooner you get those genuine rejections, the sooner you achieve financial freedom. Here's the deal. A master was once a disaster. Every hero was once a zero, but the hero didn't become a hero without, guess what? Going through his or her losses, going through his or her setbacks. You imagine if you went through 600 through 1,000 no's of people that said no to your business. You went through a 600 to 1,000. Do you think you've gotten better during that time? You doggone right you did. Do you think you made some money during that time? You doggone right you did. So if you've got more experience and you've made some money, that increases your confidence, that it increases your skill set and your experience, that's going to help you make money. So here's the secret to success. Talk to more people. This is a famous quote in network marketing that I don't fully agree with. That's why it's here. I'm sure you guys have heard this before. Put in the chat if you've heard this quote before. It says, you cannot say the right thing to the wrong person. That part is true. And you can't say the wrong thing to the right person. That part is false. It says you cannot say the second part. You cannot say the wrong thing to the right person. No. If I talk to Patricia or Jim, and they're the right person, they're open-minded about the business, but if I blow it up, if I just say nonsense, exaggerations, they could be the right person and I can mess it up. That's why the 5 P's exist. Write that down. Proper preparation prevents poor productivity. That's why you've got to be prepared, because guess what? The first part is true. You can't say the right thing to the wrong person. Some people, the 27 percenters, I talked about this at the team building training last week, or recently I talked about it on a training. 27 percenters. 27 percenters, negative people. They're not open-minded. Pessimistic people. There are not words that you can say to them to get them to see the light, and that's okay. However, there are good people, open-minded people, business-minded people, ambitious people that are looking for an opportunity. But if you are not prepared, because you don't get on trainings, you don't go through the fast start training, you're not consistent, you could mess up a wrong person that otherwise you would have been able to recruit. That's why you got to give it time. That's why you got to pay the price up front and in full. I want you to think, whatever room you're in, look at a corner of your room. I'm looking at a corner of my room right now. And as I speak, you guys might hear my voice go further away because I'm looking away. In that corner of that room, and in the corner of any room that you are in, and Gabby, you'll appreciate this. In that corner of that room, success is watching you. Success is watching, ladies and gentlemen. I may not be watching, your upline may not be watching, your team and your downline may not be watching, but success is. And it never is not. Success is always watching. And success goes to those who are bold enough to declare big goals, to dream bigger, faster, and to take big actions. It's called AOMA, all out massive action. AOMA, hashtag AOMA. Hashtag AOMA, all out massive action. Because success is watching. Success doesn't come to those people. Jim Rohn says a really cool story. He says, he sees this guy that says, if I ever won the lotto, I'd never work a day in my life, he says. So the gentleman that he's talking to says, well, that's why the creator sees it that you don't win the lotto. Okay, because that's not the right mindset that you should have. If I win the lotto, I'm never going to work a day in my life again. I get it. I understand that. Right. But he said that was a really funny story. He says that's probably why the creator doesn't see that you win the lotto. Right. Because that's not the mindset. Well, guess what? We could play the lotto. I don't want to play the lotto and take those chances. I got a much better chance of, instead of leaving it to chance, I can leave it up to me and my actions and how much I'm willing to get outside of my comfort zone. Let's keep going. 5 M's, more meetings mean more money. 5 P's, proper preparation prevents poor productivity. Let's keep going. We got a lot to cover. So let's talk about the closing system. This is closing 101. How to take a prospect to a builder. A prospect sees the information, right? You want to ask the closing question. Okay. In the fast start training, we get into the closing question, but I'll give you a simple one. Hey, Tim, pretty good stuff, huh? Tim says, yes. Awesome. Tim, did you have any questions or are you ready to get started? Tim says, you know what? This sounds interesting. Yeah, I think so. Awesome, man. Hey, listen, I would literally go and say, look, I'm on my app. I could go ahead and take down your information, or the way that we do it these days more, I'm going to send you a link so you could go ahead and get started. I'll walk you through the registration, Tim. You see the difference? Ladies and gentlemen, that is called GTC. Get the commitment. Get the close. Close a business. Be relentless. I know that I've got a tremendous opportunity. I'm going to make sure that Tim doesn't miss out. You see, that's the difference too, by the way. Some of you guys, I want you to put a 100 in the chat if you want me to be brutally honest with you. Put a 100 in the chat. Okay, that's enough. That's enough, 100, so I got your permission. Here we go. Some of you guys kind of believe that this is an opportunity that could change people's lives. You kind of believe, or you believe. You see how I said it? You believe. However, there's some people that believe beyond a shadow of a doubt that with or without me, you join this business and the leadership and the systems and the services and the opportunity that this company offers, with or without me, you can be successful. Now, success is not guaranteed to everybody, but anybody can be successful. You guys know that in this company, ladies and gentlemen, tell me if this is true or not true. Am I saying the truth when I say that when you join this company, nobody asks you for your resume? It doesn't matter if you just graduated from Yale or you just got out of jail. It doesn't matter if you got a PhD or a GED. What matters is this. Hey, are you coachable? Are you willing to talk to some folks and get outside of your comfort zone and learn some skills and be consistent and complain significantly less than anybody else? And roll with the punches and do it long enough with a great attitude. If that's you, guess what? Doesn't matter what, Yale graduate, thumbs up. Which one of these packages do you want to get started on? Jail graduate, you just got out of jail. Okay, sounds good. All right, behave while you're in here, right? Which one of these packages do you want to get started in? But guess what? At the end of the day, it doesn't matter. Because my philosophy is simple, right? When it comes to, for example, your resume, ain't that a bunch of things that people failed at in the past anyways? That doesn't matter to me. I don't care about that. Here's the deal about business. It's a what have you done for me lately business. Oh, but JC, I built a big old team in this last company, or this in real estate, I crushed it like this. Okay, that's great. Congratulations. But what are we going to do right now? Because last game's home runs don't win today's games. The cool thing about this industry and this company, ladies and gentlemen, is that we are an equal opportunity. So assumptive close, and then if there's an objection, you handle the objection. How do you handle the objection? With a cushion. Here's a cushion. Feel, felt, found. You want to master feel, felt, found. Gabby says to me, you know what, JC, I do like it. I want to get started. I just don't have the money to get started. Okay, no problem. Gabby, let me ask you this. If you did have the ability to get started, which one of those packs do you want to get started with? Well, I like to do the big pack, but I just can't get started. You know what? I totally know how you feel, because I felt that way when I got started. Here's what I found out. You could actually get started on the small pack or the medium pack, and you could gradually upgrade to the bigger pack. But that way we get you started. As a matter of fact, if you and I work together and we follow the system, I'm going to show you a $500 bonus plus commissions that you could earn in your first 30 days, and we could use that to get you upgraded to the next packs. Does that make sense? So you can't do the big pack right now. Which one of these packs can you do? Can you do the $199 or the $499? Right? Feel, felt, found. Says, you know what? I like it. It sounds good, but I don't have a lot of time, JC. You know what, Gabby? I know how you feel. There's a lot of people, we work with a lot of professionals from all walks of life, and a lot of them felt the same way. But what they found out is that you only need a couple of hours a week. And here's the deal. We do the work for you, right? Because what happens is all you got to do is introduce me to some people that I don't know. You have a relationship, but no time. I've got the time, but no relationship. I'm going to repeat that. You've got people that you have a relationship, but you've got no time. I've got time, but I don't have a relationship with them. So your job is to introduce them to me. I will show them the business. I will guide them. I will put them on your team, and you will get paid. So this business is specifically designed for people that don't have a lot of time. That's another objection handling. This business is specifically designed for fill in the blank. I don't have any money. This business is specifically designed for people that don't have a lot of money, because you can get started with the $199 pack and we could get you upgraded, boom, boom, boom. But I don't have the $199. Sounds good. Let me ask you something, Gabby. If you had to come up with a way to get started, to find the money, how would you do it? If you had to come up with the money, how would you do it? Well, I guess I would sell some things. Okay, great. Let's go sell some stuff. You got OfferUp on your phone? Let's sell some stuff. If you had to come up with the money, how would you do it? Also, they jog their memory. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm talking about becoming a master builder. And here's how you could get to that point. When you believe in your doggone business. You gotta believe in your doggone business. But here's the deal. Do you believe that you are that guy or that girl? What does your self-talk look like? What does it sound like? I know that I'm a winner and I deserve success. I'm gonna go bell to bell. I'm gonna talk to more people. I'm gonna make more phone calls. Anybody ever see the movie Troy? The movie Troy. It's a great movie. It's an old movie. 2004 is when it came out. Okay, remember in the movie Troy, the one army is attacking the other army. This other army is on top of their castle, and they got the guys that throw the bow and arrows, right? The whatever they're called. And you got a bunch of them that just aim at the sky on top of that, wall, and they shoot them in the sky, and then it falls on the enemies that are coming. That's how I picture my phone calls. I don't make phone calls. I fire off phone calls. I don't make phone calls. I fire off phone calls. Boom, there's a phone call going. Is it going to hit somebody? Maybe. What I mean by hit somebody is my phone call going to get answered? And then when it gets answered, are they going to be interested? Maybe. But that's none of my business. You know what is my business? To make the phone calls, to introduce people to my business, to ask if they're open to taking a look at some information, and then the chips will fall where they may. And then guess what? When they've got some objections, I'm going to handle those objections. But how do you get good at doing this? By doing it. The best way to learn to ride a bike is to go ride a bike. The best way to go learn to do this business is to go do this business. The best way to go recruit some folks is to go recruit some folks. Then you come back. I fell on my face, JC. Listen, man, the guy says, you know what, that he's tried these things before and it didn't work out. I didn't know what to say. Okay, great. That's a learning lesson. Let's go ahead and show you how to handle that objection. Oh, you know what? I tried these things before, network marketing, and it didn't work out. Hey, you know what, John? I know exactly how you feel, because I felt the same way. I did prepaid legal back in the days, and it didn't work out for me too well. But what I found out with this company is that they actually offer a service where you can make money without ever recruiting a soul and without ever selling a thing. Never seen anything like it. Love to send you a 2-minute video that tells you more. But imagine, Michael, if what I'm saying to you is true. A service that shows people and helps people make money without recruiting or selling. That almost sounds like an oxymoron. Almost sounds like too good to be true, doesn't it? Do you see where I'm coming from with this? Oh, is it one of those things? Is it what thing? Is it one of those MLM things? Oh, you mean those things where you got to recruit people to make some money? Yeah, those things. Well, you know what's interesting is that it's actually a network marketing company. But what's interesting about it is that you don't have to recruit and you don't have to sell anything in order to make money. They offer a service that helps people make money without recruiting or selling. I've got a 2-minute video that breaks it down. Let me send it to you so you can take a look at it, okay? And worst case scenario, they're still not interested. You know what you do? You go next. Okay. But you gotta get good on purpose. You gotta get better on purpose, ladies and gentlemen. You gotta get better on purpose. Let's go. So you overcome the objection, step 5, and then guess what? You obtain commitment. That means you sign them up. Which one of these packs? Hey, Erica, let me ask you this. Did you see a way for you to make some money here with us? Yes, awesome. Which one of these packs do you want to get started with? Now, if you got started on the Premier, you mentioned that. Which one of these packs are a better fit for you? I'll share it with you. For me, the better fit for me was a Premier pack because it comes with everything. Not only that, what I found out is that where we get started, our people will tend to get started in those packs as well, right? It'll be hard for you to sell Premier if you're on the core, right? But, it doesn't matter. You can start anywhere you want. Where do you want to get started? The fact that the big packs exist, how many of you guys have noticed that because the big packs exist, it's easier to sign people up on the $199 or the $499 that you otherwise wouldn't have signed up? Because people see, when they only saw the $199, they thought about it more. But now they see $199, $499, $999. Oh, I just do the $199 right now, or the $499. It actually helps the close become easier. Let's keep going. So a master builder is a super focused on the 2020 vision. Write that down. We have a dual team. We have a left team and a right team. Your goal, if you want to become a big builder, a master builder, you should have a goal to go 2020 starting today. Today's day one. Most people say, one day I'm going to do this. One day I'm going to do that. Winners say day one. Not one day, day one. Today's day one. Today's day one. Ladies and gentlemen, I didn't come here to conduct the training. I came here to conduct the funeral. To the person you were before, that person is gone. The new person that deserves success, that's going to take the necessary actions going into 2026, going into the new year, that's the one that we're giving birth to here today. So the 2020 vision, you personally recruit 20 on your left, 20 on your right. The ideal goal is 3 to 6 months. That's what you want to shoot for. Here's the deal. Aim for the stars, land on the moon. Maybe you don't hit it. And most of you guys probably won't hit it. And that's okay. But what if you have a goal of going 20 left, 20 right, and you don't do 20 left, 20 right, but you do 10 and 10? When otherwise you would have done 4 and 4. Do you guys see where I'm coming from here? Here's what happens if you go 20-20. And by the way, I've seen people do this over and over and over throughout the years. And almost every single doggone time, they get a team explosion in their organization. Almost every time. Okay? Personally sponsor 20 on the left, 20 on the right, and duplicate the 2020 vision. So here's what happens. 6 to 8 of them will quit on the left and right. 6 to 8 will incubate. And 6 to 8 will take it serious. And you'll get 2 to 4 of them that will blow the business up. They'll absolutely blow it up. I've done this myself many times. Because here's what happens. It's a dual team. So I recruit one and then I put them under each other. I now create momentum. I now create a sense of urgency. Like, yo, man, you got this team growing, man. All you gotta do is grow that other team. I'm the anchor. I'm building the anchor for these people. Because I know that I'm a big builder, and a big builder, a master builder, that's a philosophy. And think about this. I just need a couple of these guys to take off. If I get a couple of these guys to go and hit Builder 8,000, you guys realize I just locked in Executive 15. Any of these 20 on the left, 20 on the right, or any of their people, no matter how many levels deep, hit Builder 8,000, I just got to Executive 15. I want you to think about that for a second. So I'm building, and I go work with the willing. Who needs my help? But I'm leading by example. And we want to get everybody to hit. We want to get everybody. Our focus is to get everybody to get superstar bonus. Superstar bonus qualified. And you want to create these superstar bonus stories in your organization, and that creates momentum. Okay, let's keep going. Here's the X factor of a master builder. Number one, they're showing the plan 4 to 6 times per week. Write that down. That's number one for a reason. They're showing the plan 4 to 6 times per week. And this is, by the way, this is meant for part-time people. Whether you are doing the presentation or you're having somebody present for you, whether it's via Zoom, whether it's via phone call, whether it's having somebody see a pre-recorded presentation, whether it's having somebody on the live business overviews like the one happening tomorrow night, you are directly the reason why the plan is being showed 4 to 6 times per week. Now imagine you duplicate 5 people in your organization that are showing the plan 4 to 6 times per week, what's going to happen in your organization? And that will continue to trickle down. You want to dig deep roots with your team. When you're helping them, right? Let's say you're growing a team. Now you're helping them. Maybe you guys start doing some bowling nights. Maybe you guys do a Friendsgiving type of situation, right? That builds a deep roots with the team. A tree with deep roots is harder to fall. You're digging your roots deep. These trainings dig the roots deep with your organization. You show up together to these things. You're digging the roots deep with your organization. Ladies and gentlemen, I'll give you an example. Even if your team is just you and one more person, hey, start it there. I'll give you an example. Eric Worre has the GoPro Mastery happening December 5th through 7th or something like that. Somebody could put the dates, that'd be great. For the basic one, virtual is $3. It used to be live in person. I used to go every single year. When he had them live in Vegas, I loved going. It was something we always did at the end of the year. I'm actually kind of bummed he doesn't do them in person anymore. But anyways, my point being, this is an example of where a team can come together and say, hey, I'm going to host it at my house or at my office so we could come and spend a couple of days together and watch this GoPro, different people from different companies training on how they got to those top positions. That is an example of things that we do to dig deep roots with our team. These people are great promoters. Most people are announcers. Another X factor of a master builder, they're great promoters. The training, I have a group text with my team. Let me text them all. Let me call my 5 key leaders. And I want to encourage my 5 key leaders to have 5 key leaders. So I think of my 5 key leaders like my generals. I'm calling them. One of my generals is out of town, but I know he's got a guy named Dr. Kenneth on his team that's a stud. I'm going to call Dr. Kenneth. Hey, Dr. Kenneth, how's it going? This is JC, and he knows that I'm his upline. And I make sure that he's going to be on the call. Because guess what? My job as a master builder is to extend expiration dates. I don't know what he's going on in his business. What if he's and here's the deal. Have you guys ever been in a situation where you were ready to buy something, but the salesperson just hasn't followed up with you in some time? Right? I've been there. I've also been the person inside of a dealer, ready to buy a car. And none of these sales guys are approaching me. I'm like, and I pass sales guys. I'm like, these poor guys. Little do they know that I'm the guy that's going to buy. The first guy that comes to me is going to sell me a $100,000 BMW here today. And these guys are chit-chatting. It's crazy. It's crazy to me. There's a guy I forgot what he was selling me. He was selling me some software. And I remember thinking one day, man, it's interesting. If this guy hasn't called me in 2 weeks, if he'd call me right now, I'm available to talk. And I'm a buyer. I'm ready to buy. But he hasn't called me. Right? So my point is, you never know what's going on in people's lives. So sometimes some people on the team, they'll get on the training if they get that little push. Right? That's where the leadership comes in. This is another golden nugget I'm giving you. You got to become a great promoter. Eric Worre says that promoting events is the #1 highest paid skill in network marketing. Because events change people's trajectory, change people's lives. He says the biggest decisions are made at the corporate events, at the big events. The next one is they have tools ready, especially prospecting tools. For example, ladies and gentlemen, we've got the BYLD resource guide. The video that I made on the 9 minutes where I break down the services is already on the BYLD resource guide. Somebody please put it in the chat, in the WhatsApp chat, please, if you'd be so kind. It's already in the BYLD resource guide. The presentation, that's a 19-minute presentation, the newest one that I recorded for my prospects is already in the BYLD resource guide. Okay. The next one is they focus on building their presenter skills and duplicating presenters. The next one, they focus on creating layers of leadership. The next one, they are problem solvers. And the last one, they shop with the app. What does that mean, shop with the app? I got somebody ready to get started. Okay. Hey, Tim, wanted to give you a call. I know that you were interested in getting started. I got Erica that's going to be getting started here this Friday. I want you to know, if you get started, I'm going to go ahead and put Erica on your team. But I know that you've been on the ropes waiting to get paid. I know that it's not payday yet. You told me next Friday, but I figured I'd tell you right now because I'm going to sign up this lady, Erica, on Friday after Thanksgiving. You get started, I'll put Erica on your team. That's called shopping with the app. And it's easier done, guess what? When you are constantly out building, when you are constantly promoting. And the last slide I'm going to share with you is this, because we're running out of time. And but this was just, we got here just in time. There's a difference, ladies and gentlemen. Recruit to invite or invite to recruit. Let's say you have a prospect that says, sounds good, I'll get on the Zoom tomorrow, 2 p.m. 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern. Come tomorrow, he does not get on the presentation. The master builder is going to recruit him first. Before the regular builder is going to invite him to the next Tuesday presentation. The master builder is going to say, hey, Johnny, no problem. I know that you couldn't make it. Why don't we schedule an appointment via Zoom? I'll get my upline. Well, you're not going to say my upline. I'll get the gentleman that I'm working with. We'll get on a Zoom and we'll do a private presentation for you, right? We'll break it down. Besides, I like doing it like that better anyways. I'm going to schedule appointments, or I'm going to get them to watch a pre-recorded presentation, or I'm going to get them on another live presentation that we've got that's soon. I'm not going to wait till next week, because here's why I'm doing it. He misses Tuesday, I schedule an appointment for him to watch a pre-recorded presentation or get on Zoom for us to do a one-on-one or meet him for a coffee so we could do a one-on-one, and I recruit him on Wednesday, so he's inviting his people for next Tuesday. See the difference? Recruit to invite or invite to recruit. In other words, big builders have a big sense of urgency. We don't leave for tomorrow. We are explosive. TNT. Today, not tomorrow. Big builders have a sense of urgency because success loves speed. Who's ever heard success loves speed? Success loves speed. And success is watching you, as I mentioned before. Success is watching you. You got to level up. Some of you guys are hearing my words right now, and you're realizing, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing enough. I could do more. And this message here today made me understand that what it takes to win big is more than what I've been giving. And that's the truth, ladies and gentlemen. I have felt that many times in my career. I still feel that today. I didn't used to train like this. There was a time where I used to train and I didn't have energy this long. My voice got better. My voice got better over time, and my energy maintained, because you know what I realized? Man, this guy is older than me. My mentors at the time. This guy's older than me. How does this guy work all day? Because I would see him work all day. How many meetings and three-way calls and presentations he had. Then he was still doing the training, and he was bringing the heat. And I said, I'm not bringing the heat like that. I'm not that consistent. That's why he's winning. If I want to win, I need some of that to rub off on me. And guess what? You hang around winners long enough, you run the danger of becoming a winner yourself. You hang around millionaires long enough, you run the danger of becoming a millionaire yourself. But you gotta, it rubs off on you. It's called, key word, last golden nugget of the night, proximity. Winners and $1 million earners understand the power, and they value the power of proximity. I'll tell you one last story and we're done for the night. I have a friend of mine has made $30 million in this industry. He's like 1 or 2 years younger than I am. He's about 40. He says to me, I remember when I had a mentor and he was teaching me things, and I remember I had to eat, and I was going to go to a restaurant to grab some food. And he says, and I decided, because of what my mentor taught me, that he lived in Los Angeles. He says, I wasn't going to go to a local restaurant. He says, I went to a coffee shop in Beverly Hills. He says, now it's more expensive in Beverly Hills than where I grew up. So I said, I would rather go to Beverly Hills to network with millionaires at a very, it was a coffee shop inside of, I think it was a Beverly Hills hotel, which is a very iconic hotel. He says, I would rather spend my money on a coffee and network with millionaires than to just buy my lunch with people that are at my level. I want to rub shoulders and rub elbows with people that are at a place that is a higher place than I am. I want to network with people. I want to experience. I want my eyes and my vision to go into my mind of what those beautiful hotels look like, of what those cars in the valet look like, because that is where I'm going. That is what exists in my future. And I'm going to get used to it. I'm going to get used to the smell. I'm going to get used to what it looks like, how pretty the plants are, how they treat you there. So I'd rather go and do that. That guy's made over 30 million bucks. But he was saying he was doing those kind of things when he was making $3,000 a month. When he was sharing, when he had 4 roommates that were family members from another country living in the same house, and they were making fun of him. His first company was Amway, and they were making fun of him for joining network marketing. Ladies and gentlemen, a lot of us have stories like that, right? And I've got stories for days, right? At the leadership event that's coming up in January, which, by the way, this week we will announce the location and the destination and the ticket price. Those of you guys that bought tickets to the convention, you could redeem that for that if you want, or you could save it for the convention. But anyways, we will be sharing stories like that. That's going to be a leadership event. It's going to be a good one. It's going to be amazing. So I'll make sure that we roll out that information for the location, the weekend that is going to happen. But I'm very excited to see you guys. That's around the corner. I cannot wait to get together with you guys and to break some bread and to talk and to do some incredible trainings, because that's going to be the springboard. We are going around the world. You mark my words. Thoughts are things and words have power. We are going around the world. We're going to go 70 plus countries fast, quick, and in a hurry with our services. Okay. And you guys, America's a springboard to take us around the world. And we're going to do some amazing things. And that January event will be the catalyst to what is going to happen. Ladies and gentlemen, I appreciate you guys. I hope you guys got some value from today's training. I always enjoy spending time with you guys, my BYLD family. Enjoy the rest of your evening. I'll see you guys tomorrow. And also, happy Turkey Day coming up. We have a lot to be thankful for. Certainly you guys are one of the reasons why I am so incredibly thankful for every single one of you guys. Have a nice evening, everybody. Bye-bye.